Last week against the New York Giants, Tony Romo pretty much single-handedly threw the game away and gave it away to the New York Giants. Not taking anything away from the Giants and their fans because Eli Manning took the opportunity and won the game. But the 3 turnovers that he had all led to points, all led to touchdowns, and pretty much sealed the game for the Dallas Cowboys. Though at the end we had a chance, but we couldn't stop Eli. So congratulations to the New York Giants and all that. And yes, of course I'm wearing this jersey for a point. You know, last week, if you saw my video, I was big time critical of Tony Romo. Who couldn't have been? And some people were giving him a pass on the fluky play with Jason Witten where it kicked off the back of his foot. I don't give him that. He threw it behind Witten. You throw a bad pass, you allow for fluky things to happen. So that was as much of an interception as the one that was downfield to Kenny Phillips and the other one as well. That being said, I'm not bailing. I'm not jumping off the Dallas Cowboys or Tony Romo, the quarterback of this team. Now, we all know Tony makes mistakes, and he's got to stop it. I'm not on here to make excuses for the guy. I never have. I've never been a guy who makes excuses. At the same time, I'm not a knee-jerk guy either. And I'm not about to start booing the guy at the game or calling for Steve McGee and John Kitna. Yeah, I've heard Dallas Cowboys seriously suggest that. Do you even want to win, or do you just want to get rid of the guy? If someone better comes along, that's fine. But Tony's the guy, and I believe he's the guy. I'm going to stick with him until he's not a Cowboy anymore. This week against the Carolina Panthers on Monday Night Football, this is the time for him and this team to get back on track. Because defensively, we're going to have to step it up as well, especially in the secondary. And heck, pass rush-wise, come on, guys, let's get a sack. We led the league in sacks last season. It's week 3 now, and we don't have a sack. Let's get some on Jake Delhomme. Now, Carolina's going to come into Dallas 0-2. And I don't think they're as bad as their record is, though Delhomme has played terrible. So this may be a comeback game for both Dallas and Carolina, for both Romo and Jake Delhomme. Because, let's face it, if you need a secondary to get back on track, so far, the Dallas Cowboys are that secondary. Those guys, you know, Mike Jenkins and Scandrick have got to play better because we cannot have quarterbacks sitting back there. And we've got to get better pass rush. I understand that. But I have almost no confidence in the secondary right now, you know, other than Terrence Newman, to really make a play. Those guys, they're talented. They're on the team for a reason. They're on the roster for a reason. But they're still making some big-time mistakes that we can't have. And that being said, Tony Romo is making big-time mistakes that we cannot have. But I think we have the horses, we have the motivation, and we have the team that can beat Carolina this week. And we've got to stop the run game again. And I have a lot of faith in this defense that they can stop the run now. Week 1 was horrible. Cadillac Williams ran all over us. But they stepped it up last week, and they stuffed the run for the New York Giants. Passing game, not so much. We still got to work on the secondary, as I've said earlier. This week, Carolina comes in with a good running game as well. Probably not as good as the New York Giants, but I think one of the top in the league. A two-headed monster back there. Shut them down, we win this game. I look this to a bounce-back game because the thing is, if we had won last week, this game would probably be a little bit more intimidating, a little bit more worried about going in because you're a 2-0 team, you get comfortable, and you're playing an 0-2 team who's desperate. Now, I'm not one of those guys who says, oh, I'm glad we lost last week. It's probably helped us out. No, we should have won last week, and I wish we'd won last week. But I think this will motivate us to play better, Tony to play better, and just to get a victory. And what I liked about this team after the loss, of course, they all said the right things, but I liked what they said. Each player seemed to be able to pick out a point in the game where they could have made a play. Where they could say, look, I should have made this catch. I should have made this tackle. I shouldn't have fumbled the ball here. I should have done this, shouldn't have done that. While Tony Romo as well took all the blame for him. And I feel like when you've got a guy who's accountable, and it seems like Romo has been, plus guys behind him saying that's still our guy, we can still do this, that gives me hope with this team. He's got to step it up. I'm a huge Tony Romo. You guys know how big of a Tony Romo supporter I am. I feel like he is the guy for this team. But that being said, I will not make excuses for him when he messes up and loses games for us. But I'm not jumping off the wagon either. Dallas Cowboys win big Monday night over Carolina. Can't wait for the game. I'll be over. I think I'll be at Pluckers tomorrow night if anything changes. So if you guys are here in the Austin area, you want to come watch the game with me, I'll be over there and over on Research. So how about them Cowboys? Big win for Dallas this week against Carolina. Romo, look for him to step it up, and no, I'm not bailing, and I never will bail. I'm just one of those emotional guys, I guess. See you guys later. How about them Cowboys?